you're in council.
Good evening. This is a meeting of the Athens Board of Zoning Appeals. The time is 7 p.m. and the date is March 11, 2014. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. The board consists of 5 members and 2 alternates, the alternates taking full part in the discussions and becoming a voting member in the absence of a member or when a member abstains for conflict of interest. Present tonight are members Joan Krainansky, Elisa Carson, and Kay Towsley, who will be going to be a regular member moving forward. Welcome. Alternates are Mr. Ed Baum, who will be a voting member tonight, and our newest member of the alternate member, Ms. Ellen Salto, and welcome to the board.
Thank you.
And I am John Golsey, acting chair. Also present are zoning administrator, Mr. John Paskey, and secretary, Mr. Paul Eschenbacher. The board operates according to the following procedure. The chair will name and describe the case. The zoning administrator or secretary will state the basis of the objection and any applicable facts or conditions pertaining to the case. The appellant or their representative will give reason why the appeal should be viewed favorably. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in general comment will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be heard. If necessary, the appellant or their representative will offer concluding summary or rebuttal remarks. Testimony from the floor shall be closed. The board will deliberate and render a decision. And I'm not going to read the section about the variance because we don't have a variance. However, on the second page, it lists the powers of the board, which means we have the power to hear requests for conditionally permitted uses, and that will be the case for tonight. Any person, resident, or officer, department, or appointed body of the City of Athens aggrieved by a decision of the board may petition the Athens County Court of Common Pleas concerning the illegality of the decision. Such petition must be filed within 30 days after the mailing of the decision of the board to the applicant. We have only one case tonight on the agenda, and that is case number 14-2C, property at 5 North Schaefer Street. And Mr. Joe McGowan, representing Mother Earth Community Thrift, is the appellant, and the property is in Zone R3. The board is required to take testimony under oath. Would anyone wishing to speak concerning any item on the agenda please stand? Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you will present to the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Be seated, please. Okay, Mr. Eschenbacher, my understanding is that the board will have to determine whether this piece of property is a service to the residents of the community, and there are some conditions we have to go through.
Yeah, the conditions that you have to decide upon come in section 230702E, and basically what you have to decide is if this conditional use that's being requested is a conditional use that's permitted in an R3 zone, in this R3 zone. You have to determine that this conditional use request is considered as an individual case and not like a tidal wave of a bunch of conditional use requests. And then you have to go through and find that the conditional use complies with all applicable city regulations, that the conditional use will be of such location, size, and character that it will generally be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development of the zone. It will not be detrimental to the orderly development of adjacent properties nor inconsistent with the city comprehensive plan, And last but not least, you have to make sure that the ingress and egress from the parking area is so designed as to cause minimum interference with traffic on abutting streets. That's the general things you have to go through.
Okay.
For the specifics, they are going to open a thrift store that deals with furniture, as I understand it. The space that they're going into at 5 North Schaefer underneath there is currently empty. It's had at least a couple of businesses in the past. The last one, I think, was ambulance storage,
Yeah.
which is, parking is allowed in R3. The thrift store will be 1,600 square feet, which under zoning regulations means they have to have at least 4 spaces. That's not a problem. We estimate they have 8 on site. So if you have any questions for Mr. Paskey or myself.
I had some difficulty determining exactly which building.
Could you
it
speak
was.
up just a little?
Yeah, I had some difficulty figuring out which building it was. Is it the long?
Well, you know, 9 tables there.
Yes.
It's underneath it,
Behind.
back underneath it. If you were to pull into the Economy Supply parking lot and loop around, it's that thing on the left
Long.
there. Yeah, I think it still has a Blue Cross sign on the front of
Okay.
it. But
There's
That's
also a 5-door garage in there. I think.
yes, that's all part of it.
Okay.
So the parking for this particular location, 5 Schaefer, doesn't interfere with, is there parking for the triplex that sits directly in front of it?
That's an old triplex. It's under old parking, so it only
So
needs
it's
1 space per
grandfathered in.
apartment.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's fine.
okay.
Any other questions? Well, Mr. Joe McGowan, would you address the board? Yes. Please state your name and address for the record.
Home address or where we are?
Home address would be good.
My name is Joe McGowan. I live out of Waterloo Township, State Route 681, 6733, State Route 681. I've been there since, I've had the land since 1984, so I've been a taxpayer since 84 in Athens County. And go on.
Would you like to do state your
Yes,
case?
I would. My partners, Don and Dustin. Don's my partner and Dustin's our son. We're all 3 equal partners in this business, the Mother Earth Community Thrift Ltd. We're presently down on Richland Avenue, on 544 Richland Avenue. We're renting from Mr. Demetrius Prokos at this point in time. We're just looking for a better space, and we found 5 North Schaefer more appealing to our use. And there's a couple of other things I'm going to address here that I want to, why we're looking for this other space besides where we're at right now. But we've been successful for about a year now, and so we want to go and start our 2nd year, but we want to move to this new location. I first came to Athens in 1972 as a student, so I've been in and out of Athens for the last 40-some years. I settled back down here in '94 after I came back from Alaska after teaching up there for 10 years. I've just recently retired from Job and Family Services, where I helped over 1,300 people get their GED in Athens County. I also help people find jobs, my staff and I have, and we've also put people back into training using federal money, folks who've lost their jobs, such as McBee's and all these other businesses that have shut their doors. But I've always wanted to have a business of my own, and now that I have the opportunity, and now that I'm retired, that's what we're pushing forward to do here. 2 things that I've always been involved with and I've also been very serious about. It's recycling. We also are looking into this whole concept of upcycling, which is a term that came out in the 90s. Upcycling is where you take something that's been made, and our natural resources have been put together to make an item. Instead of throwing it to the landfill, we are taking furniture and other items and recycling them and fixing them up and selling them back to the public at a reasonable price. Secondly, after the last 20 years of working for Athens County, I didn't realize how many low-income people there were in this community. So all the things that we have in our store, we price very reasonably for folks who are low and to moderate income. And our store is more than just a thrift store. It's almost a boutique in some respects. But those are the things that I'm very interested in, and Don and Dustin as well. We want to help the folks in this area who can't afford to buy things. We also want to recycle things so they don't go to the landfill. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here tonight and speak on our behalf, because we think we have a good business going here. And like I say, we've already survived 1 year. Now we're just looking forward to the future. So that's who I am.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, one question. So can you maybe fill me in a little bit on who your clientele is and where they come from?
We do a lot on Craigslist. Dustin does our IT work, our computer work. We have customers coming in from in fact, that's probably the fact that the folks are coming from out of town. They're doing other businesses in town. They're spending their money probably at the gas stations and at the restaurants and what have you. But we do a lot of stuff on Craigslist. So we've got them coming from a 30, 40-mile radius around Athens County. But a good many of the customers are folks that knew Dawn. For 2 years, Dawn operated another thrift store down on Kern Street, just off of Stimson Avenue. She didn't own that store. She just helped manage it. And a lot of the customers are people she knew. But we also are finding that the college students are finding us now, too. But we have a lot of low to moderate income people coming to our store at this time.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
I think one of the things we need to determine that this business is going to be beneficial to the immediate residents of the neighborhood. So do you think that that is the case?
When I came out of the Navy back in '82, I lived at the West End. I lived down by Frank's Bait Shop. The West End, from what I understand, just from the time I've been around Athens, has been one of the areas in Athens where there's probably people who don't have the means that people have in other parts of the county. So I think the people who live at that end of the town, along with the college students with all the apartment complexes and all the rental property down there, I think they'll definitely find our business, something that they will address. They will come to and buy our merchandise.
It looks like there are a lot of student rentals in there, and when the students are maybe leaving town or graduating, would that be an opportunity for them to maybe bring their stuff to you, either donate or sell them to you?
We've been doing that now.
Or recycling?
When Don ran the other store for the other woman on Kern Street, that for 2 years in a row, we did a lot of going to people's homes and getting the items, so they weren't just throwing them out on the street corner and having the trash come get them. We did it ourselves last year when we first opened our business. We were going around. We put flyers out, and people called us, and we went right to their home and gathered the material and brought it back to our business.
Okay, thank you. You would have a chance again to come back for rebuttal.
Okay.
Is there anyone else who wants to speak on in favor of the request? Please state your name and your home address for the record.
My name is John Brandwee. I live at 35093 Titus Road, Middleport, Ohio. Just basically, I'm going to say that what had been in there previously kind of falls in line with what they were doing. The ambulance company, they were in there for a couple of years. They grew and then they left town. But before that, Mistretta's restaurant used that building as a banquet room and overflow for their restaurant. And before that, it was a banquet room or something. But it's always been in continuous use. And basically, that's basically all I got to say. And if you have any questions that I can answer, that's all I have.
Would there be anything else going on while they have their store over there? Just the entire complex would be theirs. Okay.
Yeah. They're storage units, but that's very, they're in and out of them very seldom. So, as far as traffic goes, it'd be about the same. It'd be about the same.
If you weren't aware yet, he's the owner of the building.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't state that.
Any questions?
If any questions for
Yeah, I have
me?
a question. Sorry. When Mistretta's was there, I seem to remember that the banquet room opened a little later than the store. Was it empty for a while, or was it?
Yeah, they would have parties in there.
Right.
And they didn't use it when I was around. They didn't really use it all the time, every single day. They used it, quite a few days a week, but not, on a scheduled 5-day-a-week thing or 6-day-a-week. But they had parties and overflow stuff there.
Okay.
So they didn't use it, all the time, but they used it, whenever they could schedule a party. So it wasn't every single day used. But
So since they left, it's been 9 tables in the ambulance
9
place?
tables had it after Mistretta's, and then the ambulance place was in there for 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
Is that it?
Well, when did the ambulance situation leave?
January 1st.
Okay.
Any other questions? You may be seated.
All right.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of the request?
My name's Dawn Janzik, and I live on Where do I live? 6733 State Route 681, is that right? Don't even know where I live. We bring a unique item to Athens. All of our furniture that comes in, we clean it, we sew it. You can take a piece of furniture and put it in your house. We do the sanitizing, which the state of Ohio requires. We are always negotiable. We put that out for our customers. There are people that we've done layaways for that just don't have the money and have to set up a payment plan with us so that they can purchase a twin bed or whatever it is that they're looking for. And our say what?
We don't charge interest.
Yeah, we don't charge interest. That's true. We don't charge interest. We just put it on hold. It's cleaned, sterifabbed. It sits to the side until they're ready to come in. We had a young man pick up a futon that we've been working with him since January, and he had to put a transmission in his vehicle, and we helped him out that way. We carry a few other items. Our main focus is furniture, but our clothing, 25 cents for children's clothing always. Right now we're doing bag sales, those big kitchen bag sales, whatever you can fit in it. Any type of clothing, linens, shoes, and whatnots, $5. It's another way to give back to the community. You'll see me climbing in dumpsters. I almost broke down and cried one time when we went to our Rumpke guy told us about people moving out, and it just broke my heart to see all this stuff just, going into the trash. Anyways, that's what we do, and I really feel that it'll benefit the side of town that we're on because there's a lot of people that are walkers, and they can walk to our store. We do delivery. We only charge $10. So it's affordable for most people, and Joe has been known on many occasions to just put furniture in and do it because it's who he is, at no charge. And I guess I covered everything, right? Yeah.
Okay, any questions?
So would you also accept, you accept donations?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Clothes or
Yes.
furniture?
Yes. You should see what I do to the furniture.
Well, I guess that's going to lead right into my question is, how much furniture repair will you be doing on site?
It's not so much, what I use is wood glue, needle and thread, and cleaning. It'd be no different than what we're doing right now. It's very basic, very basic.
So no paint, no varnishing, no stripping?
No,
Okay.
no. I don't have the time for that.
I assume that you are aware of all this sanitizing the furniture and so on, as those are a part of it.
Yes.
Some kind of a permit that needs
Yes,
to be
you have to have it posted in your store. Yes, it's
Yeah, okay.
required.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else speaking in favor? Or in general comments? Or opposition? Okay. Would you like to add anything more? Mr. McGowan, it's your last chance. Okay. Okay. Okay, discussion from the floor is closed. And Mr. Eschenbacher, should we make a motion first or go to the conditions?
Yeah, I would recommend just go ahead and make the motion as normal, and then you go through the conditions for the
I
condition.
have a quick question for the code office. When the ambulance services were there, did they have to come to the BZA for conditional?
Parking lots are allowed in R3.
Oh, so they only parked there, they didn't,
No, they were. They're part of the reason they're not there anymore. So, we'll leave it at that.
I see. Okay.
Would you like a motion? Anyone would like to make a motion?
I'll move that the board consider case 1402C, John McGowan as Mother of Community Thrift, requesting for property on 5 North Schaefer Street, requesting a conditional use permit to allow furniture retail store in an R3 zone as per ACC 230403C7.
I second.
Okay. I'm going to this section 230702 Part E, conditionally permitted uses. And it says the BZA may authorize the issuance of a conditional use permit in accordance with the following provisions. Number one, conditional uses for which a permit is issued are permitted in the zone. And in zone 3, or 3, I believe all it says that the business must serve the residents in the neighborhood and be wholly within a completely enclosed building.
Well, it also says primarily for residents in the neighborhood.
Primarily, yeah, and not only, just primarily.
But primarily for,
But it could be open to anyone, yes.
and it just seems that primarily as the business is established right now, it isn't serving a community, or I'm not sure that it will. I mean, that's my difficulty with it. I really appreciate neighborhood businesses,
Yeah.
and we have several around my area. But this seems like a business that is,
It's probably more suitable to this neighborhood than the previous neighborhood.
no, absolutely the opposite. I think it's more suited to Richland Avenue if they're doing a lot of work, a lot of stuff on Craigslist, and people are coming from far away to pick up stuff.
Yeah, those are the side issues, but, with respect to the neighborhood.
Well, he didn't say side. He
Being,
says primarily
students.
his business is from Craigslist.
I
So-
think I said primarily. I said we are getting, because we do. I'm sorry, we have to
Okay.
do it. That's just one aspect of it.
So what would be an example then of a business that really was for just the neighborhood?
Neighborhood. Let's see, at the foot of Mount Street, we had a convenience store that had a laundromat in the basement, and that was very much neighborhood.
Maybe a gas station, maybe.
Oh, definitely, a gas station would be, a gas station would be, I would think that, what's the name of the, a small restaurant, a small coffee shop, anything that would really, those are neighborhood businesses. I don't think that anything that reaches out to more of a public, that doesn't mean that anybody that doesn't walk by doesn't use it, or people didn't stop, but that's a primary type of business that comes to my mind, as opposed to something that's reaching out far and beyond the neighborhood. I mean, I realize that at some points it's going to be convenient for some of the students to come through there, although a lot of those apartments back there on the commons have furniture and they pass it on, so I don't know that there's a lot of furniture that leaves that place and then needs to be reincorporated. But the old West End Tavern, which is now going to be whatever it's going to be, the cider bar, that really serves that neighborhood, gets a walking traffic in there. People don't, I think that's how the neighborhood feels about it anyway.
Okay, I guess I would argue that in this town, it seems to, this is such a small town, that most any business I can think of, people drive to it, and they come from other parts of town
Right.
to go to, say, the Catalyst Cafe or places like that. So it's sort of hard to imagine, short of maybe the convenience store, it's kind of hard to imagine a business that would almost exclusively or primarily be patronized by people in the immediate area.
Yeah, but that's what the code is saying. That's all I'm saying. This is what the code is saying. If you want to establish some of those little neighborhoods, there's Beats and Things across the street, and they cater to, everybody around the city, right?
Whoever wants beads.
Right, exactly. Miller's Chicken gets an incredible amount of walk-in traffic, so that's really local. I mean, there's another business that's somewhat local. I personally wouldn't walk there. I walk over to the little store on on Stimson, I mean, I can walk over there and if I need something rather than getting in my car and going to Kroger. So, you know, small community grocery things are probably the primary thing that would be, and a gas station, as John says.
Well, actually, number 2 says each conditional use is considered as an individual case, so this would be on its own merits. Number 3, the BZA shall find the case conforms to the specific requirements numbered in each section and also these standards. A, the conditional use complies with all applicable city regulations. And we may have to go to you, Mr. Eschenbacher, or Mr. Paskey. Would that?
Well, I mean, they've submitted their permit. They've described that the store will be enclosed as it's supposed to be in an R3.
Okay.
Any remodeling and stuff that they might have to do, they'll get the permit for if they
And
have
I
to
think
do
other
that.
city regulations would be parking, which they're conforming with that. All controls, it's an existing building. They're not adding on or doing anything there. So.
And it will not be detrimental to the orderly development of the adjacent properties nor inconsistent with the city comprehensive plan. So, and finally, the ingress and egress from the parking area is so designed as to cause minimum interference with traffic for the building streets. And I don't think it's no problem there.
No, it's not a problem there.
Any other discussions? Any other comments before we vote? Let's just start with you, Kay.
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
I vote no.
I vote yes.
And I vote yes as well, so you have the permit. We have 2 more items on the agenda tonight, and that is the deposition of minutes from February 11, 2014 meeting. Except for Joan, I guess the rest of you have had a chance to read the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Minutes approved. And the second thing is the annual organizational meeting, and we need to select a chair for
It was after I
2014. I have expressed my interest to be the chair, and this is also a good chance for anyone else who would like to be the chair to speak now.
I move that John Golsey be elected chair of the Athens County, or Athens City Board of Zoning Appeals.
I second.
Okay, all?
Aye.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll promise to be a good chair.
We're all happy if anybody will take the job, right?
Any motion to adjourn?
There's a question that I raised, and I don't know if this is the appropriate venue for it, or we have to have Mr. Lang in, but the extent to which we consider each case as an independent entity and the extent to which we are to take into account the comprehensive plan. I know that the section you just read referred to the comprehensive plan, but I'm reminded of the case last month, in which if you have a careful reading of the comprehensive plan and the intent of those who wrote the comprehensive plan and the city council that approved it might not have accepted that.
Right.
And I think that's something we need, at least since I'm relatively new on the board, I would like that discussion at some point.
Actually, I had a brief meeting with Mayor regarding this, and I was going to discuss this, maybe not now, but to invite Mr. Lang for a meeting. Maybe you.
So that you're all aware, I invited him for this evening, knowing that this was going to be a short agenda, and I apparently was not able to attend.
I think
So
he wasn't able to attend.
With,
Yeah.
you know, Ed recently joining us, and Ellen is a new member.
Right.
I know, Ed, you've been around, but still it's been good. And it's always great to have a refresher course for
Yeah.
everybody else.
I expressed my interest to have Mr. Lang invited to a meeting. It could be maybe after a Tuesday meeting, or if there is a Tuesday we don't have a agenda. So, or maybe we can meet some other time and go through a whole bunch of questions in
Good idea.
QA and also a refresher and just a few other items that I
Good.
have on my agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are we adjourned?
Adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.